Alright, hello, welcome back everyone. In this little section of this series, I'm going to be talking about what it takes to start an online business. Before you start any of these businesses, whether Shopify, Amazon, the social media marketing, affiliate marketing, ClickFunnels, there's a couple things that you have to point out and realize what it takes to start an online business, or any business in general. And one of the most important things that you have to learn about business is that business is all about helping to solve people's problems. So you don't want to just like throw up crap on the internet and just hope someone buys it. You need to like give someone a reason to buy, which means like, if somebody needs help losing weight, they might buy your course or your supplements or whatever else around weight loss. Or the same thing around say like meditation. If you had a meditation course, you have to solve someone's problem. Like if someone needs to learn how to meditate. People have problems like calming their mind and emotion and stuff like that. You might want to create a course around solving a problem, like that. But like it doesn't. What you want to do is like find a niche that you want to work in, and then find problems around that niche. And this can be around anything, such as like dogs. What are some problems around dogs, like or cats? People need pet training, for instance. You could help sell courses or products that help, train dogs or solve problems like that. So the biggest thing you want to do or keep in mind is like you're here to help solve problems. Like you're not here to like just promote a product and hope you make some money off of it. Which yeah, it's part of the deal. But you have to realize like when it comes to making money online, the reason people buy online is because they need a problem solved. Sure, sometimes like accessories like jewelry and stuff like that. Yeah, you can sell stuff like that or like your own shoes or whatever, but that's because people like shoes, or you just kind of understand like the urgency. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, no doubt you can definitely start your own like clothing line. That the problem that clothing line solve is like someone needs more clothes, more cool clothes, or more stylish clothes. So when you come across of like what you're gonna sell, you got to really consider the quality of what you're selling. So if you're not really necessarily solving like a problem like someone's backache or whatever, and you're selling something like an accessory like a necklace. A necklace. The only problem that necklace solves is like someone wants to look cool or look more fashionable. So you got to consider what you're solving, and then you have to cater to those audiences. And so another thing you want to think about before you start your own business is like, do a survey on like on the niche that you're trying to get into. So if you want to get into like say like dogs, for instance, going back to that, you would join like a Facebook group based around dogs, and just ask people questions what their biggest problems are. So like, if you go into like a Facebook group around dogs, you might ask a question like, hey, what's your biggest problem with your dog? But then like some people might say, I go running at night, I go jogging with my dog, and I have him on my leash, but I'm concerned for his safety a lot. So maybe you might want to consider selling an LED dog collar with an LED dog leash, so that way it kind of like glows in the dark, so that way drivers can see a dog coming or whatever. So you want to solve the angle, and that's what you want to consider when you're making an online business, because the last thing you want to do is like sell a product nobody wants. So you want to do a little survey and survey your audience. And so what does it take to find an audience? So this is another thing. So how do you find an audience? So one of the coolest ways to find a problem and find an audience is obviously going on Facebook. You can go into Facebook groups and simply just go into your Facebook, type into the group, like in the search section, go to groups and find, like a group to join and ask the members like what the problems are. And maybe you can solve a problem based around that. Another thing you can do is you can go to Quora, and Quora is great for, people ask questions all the time. So like people have questions about travel, and stuff like that. You can maybe solve a problem based around travel and like get people like the cheapest airfare, for instance, like if you want to get into the traveling niche. And I keep throwing out ideas on like what you can do, because like there's seriously like millions of ideas, because there's millions of problems. So like mental health, like for instance, you can start a whole blog around mental health and like around anxiety and panic attacks, nervousness and worries and stuff like that. You could develop a whole blog or YouTube channel based around this niche, and then sell products based around that. And again, I'll show you how to find products in affiliate marketing if that's your deal. Otherwise, you can create your own product. and going to like audiences and like going to find an audience, you can also go to Yahoo Answers, and this is where everyone is posting problems, and you can find problems based on their niche. For instance, if you come here, you can go family relationships. You can sell products around family relationships, food and drink, health, and all you do is just like click on any of these, and people will give you, their questions, and you basically solve their problems. So this lady, or this question right here, if it says, it frustrates me that I might never find a boyfriend. So like this lady has a problem, and you want to know what else? It's like this lady has 78 answers already. So this means like 78 people have already checked out this question, and for every answer, there's probably like 100 times that who have just looked at the question and looked for answers. Because a lot of people don't answer the problem. Like some people just want to know the question for themselves or the answer for themselves. So out of like the 78 answers here, let's just pretend that's 78 women, right? For every answer, there's 100 people who didn't leave an answer because people are just coming here, like I said, to solve their own problem. So there's really, in 2 days, roughly 800 people have checked out this question, and they want to know the answers for themselves. So what you would do is like basically one of the ways that you could help this person, and I'll get into this more in the section for affiliate marketing, is you just basically find a product that's going to help them, and you post a link to it in the comment section, and then the lady or whoever is answering this, that is posting this question, they'll check out your answer and they'll check out your product. But you know what? You're gonna have like 800 other eyeballs seeing your link. So that way, if this is only 2 days, in 3 days, 4 days, 5 weeks, this question is going to have 1,000 answers. It's just like, so you can post a link online and right here, and then that's one way to get free traffic. So I want to keep my traffic stuff for another section because I will cover that later on. But I'm just trying to say that you want to find an audience, you want to find a problem that you can solve. So before you go on doing a niche or solving or finding a product, you want to find people who have problems. That way, they will, people who have problems will more likely buy your product. So the other thing that I want to cover on what it takes to start an online business, you got to realize it takes time. There is a way, there are ways to make money right now, which I will cover in the next section. But when it comes to starting a real online business, you got to think long term. So you got to think about like, what are you going to do for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, like even 5 years? It's a long way to go, which is, and this is kind of like a problem because a lot of people get into online business because they think they're going to make money right away. And if they don't make money the first day or first week or even first month, they give up on it. So, I mean, that's not really how like a sustainable business is something you want long term. So, which brings me to my next topic of starting your business online versus offline. So, the thing about starting an online business is like, it costs very little money to start when you know what you're doing, compared to an offline business such as a restaurant or starting your own chiropractor business or whatever. And people who get into online business, they want to it's because they're in need for money. Like a lot of people get into the online business because they don't know what else to do in life, and they just want to make money right now because they're poor and broke. And don't get me wrong, if that is your situation, the main thing to keep in mind is like, don't spam people. Just keep your value up. Don't just post links just because you want to make a sale. Actually, truly help people, because people will see through your scam. Like if you try to just post bogus links on Yahoo Answers and Quora just to get some eyeballs, actually post like a real value content. If you answer a question on Yahoo Answers, leave a real valuable answer and be like, hey, I think I know I know an answer on how to help you get your boyfriend or help you get a boyfriend, and you give your reasons, blah blah. You might give your own story. And then you say, hey, check out this product because this might help you out. And then, so that's what social media marketing is, because people buy from people they know. So you got to give value before someone actually takes you for real. So don't be scamming the internet, and like people see through that garbage. So don't be like, that's the biggest thing you can do is just add value. But going back to starting your business online versus offline. Starting a business online is going to be a lot easier than starting a business offline. For instance, if you want to start your own restaurant, you're going to have to invest like $1 million. Plus, you got to renovate your building. You have to find, recipes. You got to find a chef. You got to develop a menu. You have to hire a wait staff, a manager. There's a lot of city ordinance that you have to stick by, licensing. But here's the thing: is you got to think about it this way. If you're looking to start an offline business, usually that sounds really cool. It's a lot sexier, I guess. Like if you were to start your own bar, for instance, if I were to start my own bar, I'd have to find a building. I'd have to renovate. I'd have to get inventory, like bottles of beer and liquor. I'd have to get seating, find my live music, get lighting, sound systems, and blah, blah, blah. It's like $1 million, right? $500,000, even $250,000, you can maybe get away with that. But because an offline business, there's a lot that is on the line. But for some reason, some people will spend, 12 hours, 16 hours a day remodeling a building for their business, their offline business, like their bar or whatever, but they won't spend an hour a day on their online business because they have no skin in the game. So that's one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs online have is they think that they can just start and make money right away, and it doesn't really work that way. And just because it's really cheap to start an online business does not mean your business is going to be cheap. When you see these really awesome bloggers making lots of money, it's because they've been around for a while. They've been around for a year or 2 years or 3 years, and they're making $100,000 a month because they put in the time. It takes an hour to write a blog post. It takes an hour to make a YouTube video. But people won't do that every day. It's but if you had $1 million on the line for your online business, you would be online 10 hours a day, 16 hours a day, drilling at it hard. So don't let that, I'm just trying to say, just because it can be easy to start your own online business does not mean you have to be less dedicated. And that's just really everyone's biggest problem when it starts to come to start an online business. They're not dedicated. And that's one of the things that sets, people apart. If you're dedicated, you're going to succeed. That's all it takes. Making content every day. So whether it's a YouTube video, Instagram post, and developing your audience. So I just want to kind of clear up the seriousness of your online business. You can still have fun, but I'm just saying, again, if you have an offline business, you're starting your own restaurant, you're going to be 100% all in on that. And at the end of the day, as a restaurant owner, you're going to be making maybe $500 a day, maybe if you're a nice restaurant or whatever. But most restaurants don't even make a lot of money. In fact, 90% of restaurants fail. So there's a lot of risk. You put millions of dollars to a restaurant, you risk it, and you lose it. You have chances of not even being in business. So starting an online business is definitely a way more convenient, but don't let it fool you by how cheap it is, because you can start a blog for nothing, and then you can put ads on your blog for nothing, and you can put affiliate links on your blog for nothing. So just because it's basically free and cheap to start your own online business, you gotta take it serious, just as if it's an offline business, and you have to be in the whole thing for the long haul. And then the other thing I want to do is talk about finding your audience. And like I said, I've already talked about a little bit about finding an audience on Facebook, looking into groups, and Quora, and Yahoo Answers, and you can even go into your Facebook marketing audiences to learn more about that. But what I want to talk about is not only just finding your audiences, but you want to make sure that people want your product before you even try selling it. So, like I said, going back to helping to solve problems, you want to survey people and find out what they want. So when you find an audience and you go to a Facebook group, you got to survey them and ask them questions about what they need as a pet owner, or what they want as a business owner, or what they want as a restaurant owner, or whatever. So you might go into a Facebook group that's based around small businesses, and then you just go into that Facebook group and you ask them questions hey, small business owners, I'm an online marketer, just throw this out there, and you say, I want to help people get you more clients. What's your biggest setback on getting clients? And people will respond to you. They'll say, hey, my advertising in the Yellow Pages is too expensive, or my advertising on a billboard or a magazine is charging me $800 a month, and I'm only getting 2 clients a month because of my advertising, and I could really use some help with advertising. So then, as a new entrepreneur such as yourself, you would develop a business based around advertising that helps people develop their own business. So finding audiences is like find an audience and find their problem and help solve it. So that's the biggest way that you can start an online business is like help solve problems. So, and just like how this whole channel is all around helping people start their own online business, because I'm basically breaking down all the information what it takes to start an online business, which is a big problem because I've done internet marketing for a long time, and I know the problem between like starting an online business and like getting confused with all kinds of information. So I'm solving your problem around basically like giving you the concept of what it takes to start an online business. So I hope you understand the whole concept of what it takes to start an online business. So you can do the same exact thing I'm doing. You can help other people start their online businesses too once you understand these concepts. So I hope this video helps you out. Again, your business has to revolve around solving problems. Realize it does take time. You know, it might take 3 months or 6 months or even a year to start your own online business, but it's going to be worth it because you can seriously make $10,000 a month if you put in the time. And just because this is an online business, you know, take it seriously, because, you know, an offline business like a restaurant or having your own pet store, that's cool, but just because there's less risk does not mean you have to take it less seriously. So that's kind of like what it takes. Like, be dedicated. And again, find your audiences. You got to find audiences to sell your products to. So once you develop, you know, a relationship with people online, you can eventually start selling your products to them once you know the answers to their problems, and then you just market your solutions to them. So I hope this all makes sense. This is what it takes to start your own online business. So definitely remember, it takes time and dedication. So research your market and your audience, find their problems, and make a list of their products, and make a list of all the problems they have, and find products that solve them. And so that's really step one of what it takes. And in the next section, I'm going to tell you all about how you can make money right now for all those people who are struggling for some cash. So, and then I'll go into all these more extensive business models. So I'll see you in the next video, and I hope this was valuable to you.